How's it going, everybody? It's Charlie, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everyone is having a great Sunday so far after Leeds United's comfortable 2-0 win at home to Hull City yesterday afternoon. Just before we get into today's video, guys, please make sure that you are smashing that like button. It really does help get the video out there to more people. Please subscribe to the channel if you are brand new as well. We're obviously now on the road to 4K, so if you wouldn't mind subscribing if you haven't already, that would be brilliant. Hit that notification bell, and of course get all of your thoughts and opinions into the comment section down below as we delve into the key takeaways from Leeds' win against Hull yesterday at Ellen Road. As I said briefly just there, I did feel it was a fairly comfortable win in the end. I think Hull had a good sort of 20-minute period in the first half towards the back end of that half. But other than that, I thought Leeds controlled it and we thoroughly deserved that 2-0 win. But like I said, I just wanted to discuss a few main things that I took from the game yesterday. And the first thing is Manor Solomon, who pleasantly surprised me, actually. I thought, don't get me wrong, I thought long-term, he'd be an amazing signing for us if he can stay fit. But the fact that he came in for his first game for Leeds and had that much of an impact, I thought was really, really good to see. You know, how he caused Coyle down our left-hand side a whole world of bother. I thought he was at them constantly. The only thing that I was asking more from him for was to actually get at him more at the byline, actually take him to the line more, because, you know, you see for the Joseph goal, you know, the fact that he took him to the line, actually used his left foot, because I did feel like he was inverting a little bit and having to cut back a lot, or he was trying to cut in on the right foot. But I think the one time that he did use his left foot and took Coyle to the byline, you know, he set up a good goal for Matteo Joseph. And, you know, obviously the only concern with Solomon is his injury record. And I do understand why people are a bit pessimistic about that at the minute, but you've got to look at it, you know, on face value. He played really well yesterday. I see why Farke took him off when he did, just to obviously avoid him, you know, overdoing it and ending up getting an injury. You know, so he's got 2 weeks now to get even more sharp and more up to speed. And, you know, I can't wait to see Solomon play in a Leeds United shirt again. So my next talking point would be Junior Firpo, who for me was my man of the match. I think it was one of the best games I've seen Firpo play in a Leeds United shirt. For me, I thought he was everywhere. Usually with Firpo, he attacks very well, but defensively he can look a bit suspect. But I thought yesterday, even defensively, he was just everywhere. He was putting tackles in. He was remaining cool and calm and composed at the back when he was under pressure. Really good link-up play with Solomon down that left-hand side. I thought he linked up well with Aronson. You know, obviously Aronson was playing in the 10 as well. Nonto when he drifted into the 10 as well. And yeah, you know, and obviously the assist for Perot's goal, I thought was just sublime. The fact that he hit that at the first time of asking as well. You know, I think the Leeds United of last season may have overdone that a bit, maybe started passing it about at the back, just maybe played it safe. But Firpo sees Perot and Ramazani in acres of space. Beautiful ball across to Yoel Perot for him to slot home and make it 2-0 and, you know, put Leeds firmly in the driver's seat. But yeah, I thought Firpo was class yesterday. Just really, really good to see, you know, Firpo being loved by the fans, because, you know, when he first signed, you know, in the Premier League, you know, it wasn't great, was he? You know, his injury record was shocking. It was a walking yellow card. You know, he was always suspended. And the fans didn't like it. I didn't rate him. There was a point where I would have driven him to the airport myself to get him out of the club. But now, for me, you know, he's our best left back. And, you know, you've got Isaac Schmidt that's just come in. I think the player that he sees mainly as competition is probably Jayden Bogle at the minute, because I just don't see how Farker would drop Firpo at the minute unless it was a cup game or something like that. In the Championship, if Firpo is fit, he plays. It's and yes, he'll have games where he doesn't perform as well as yesterday. I'm not expecting him to be that good every week, but if he can just remain more solid and just give us at least a 7 out of 10 consistently, I think that's all you can ask for from Junior Firpo. Another positive to take from it as well is Matteo Joseph. I think Joseph has had a great start to the season, and I was buzzing for him yesterday to finally get off the mark and get his first goal of the season. I think against Portsmouth, I thought he was very good. Was unlucky to not have a goal in that game. Against West Brom, I feel like he was a little bit more isolated. It was a different sort of performance from Leeds. It was a slog. It wasn't good to watch from both teams that day. But still, I felt he handled himself well up against the likes of Kyle Bartley, etc. At Sheff Wednesday last week, I think he did everything but score. The assist for Dan James's goal was unbelievable. For a number 9 to play that sort of pass, shows some real ability. And then obviously yesterday, I thought he occupied the centre backs well. He was making good runs in behind. The anticipation for the cross from Soloman for him to get his goal, I thought, it was a real instinctive. It was a proper number 9 finish, wasn't it? That, I thoroughly believe now. I think I've said it on this channel. I've said it on the White Wall. I said it to my uncle yesterday after the game. I said, now Joseph has got one, I think the floodgates are just going to open now, and I think you'll see him get a few goals in the next few games now, hopefully. There is a negative, though, guys, that I have to take away from yesterday's game. Well, it isn't just yesterday's game, really. I think it's just in general. But, and again, I discussed this with Owen on the review of the game that we did live last night, which if you haven't already, go and check that out. It was a really good chat with Owen, as always. But Ilan Meslier, very frustrated with him yesterday. Very, very frustrated. Is he blind? Is Ilan Meslier blind? Because I think so. Because, the one where he plays it into Ampadu, he's got about 2 Hull City players around him. Nearly, that could have led to a goal scored for Hull there. That really could. If Hull were better in the final third and if they were more clinical, they score there 100%. It's a great chance for them to get a goal. And, thankfully they didn't. There was one where he had the ball, tried rolling it out to Solomon, I think, but instead just rolled it straight to one of their players. Thought his distribution was poor again. There was one where the ball, I think they tried to play like a through ball, and Joe Rodon's trying to communicate to him as if to say, come and collect it. And he just didn't. And Rodon had to play it out for a throw in, which again could have led to something. But then he'll do like the odd good, Hollywood save or, good clearance, and people rate him again. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I said this last night as well. I think in the Championship, we'll get away with having Ilan Meslier in goal. But should we get promoted to the Premier League this season, there needs to be a serious conversation about Ilan Meslier. How he's being made vice captain is bonkers to me. People call him the Iceman. He's not the Iceman at all, is he? Like, let's be honest. Like, he's an slightly above average goalkeeper. Farker said he's the best keeper in the league. I want whatever he's smoking if he really believes that. He puts the defence under so much pressure on numerous occasions. Look at that one against Sheff Wednesday last week, albeit Sheff Wednesday didn't really pepper his goal much, or at all, really. But that weird punch out that he did from that set piece at Hillsborough, I mean, everybody who was watching it either in the ground or on the telly universally probably said, what the is he doing there? I just think, it doesn't command his box. Distribution's poor. His decision-making's poor. His near post is so vulnerable. I just think, long-term, if we get promoted, there needs to be another keeper in goal for me, 100%. And then last but certainly not least, we've got to speak about Ao Tanaka, or is it Yao Tanaka, however you pronounce it. I think we're all just going to call him Ao, aren't we? You know, first of all, the chant is legendary. Like the fact that he's been at the club, what, 3 days? 2 days maybe now? And he's already got a chant. You know, obviously Ampadu made all of the new signings, you know, Tanaka, there was Ramazani, Solomon. I think they all did the, you know, the thing to the fans at the end, and it was good to see that, you know, they're embracing it from the off. But Tanaka, I feel like people are maybe overhyping him, and maybe I am as well, because he only played what I think, including added time, he played about 10 minutes. But I just thought he looked different to what Gruev did. It's weird. I don't think Gruev really did anything bad in the game. And again, I was saying this last night as well. You know, I don't think he did anything particularly bad or wrong in the game. I just don't see what Gruev offers this team. He doesn't score goals. He doesn't assist. He's not really forward thinking. And I've said it. I feel like a broken record. I've said it numerous times. Ampadu and Gruev together in midfield doesn't make sense to me. There's no balance at all. They're both the same player. They both do the same role. Now, for me, whether it's Rothwell, whether it's Tanaka, you know, because Ampadu's not getting dropped, whether it's Rothwell or Tanaka, one of them needs to come into the starting 11 now. And based on what I saw yesterday, I'd like to see Tanaka from the start. He just looks so cool and calm on the ball, a lot taller and more broad than I expected him to be. Has a real presence in that midfield and a bit of an aura about him as well. How he was just spraying balls about just comfortably. Again, he came on at 2-0, so it was comfortable, and I get that. But I still felt, you know, he just had a bit of a more of a presence in there, and he was looking forward a lot more, as was Joe Rothwell, to be fair. So I think there needs to be a change in midfield. Do I see it happening for Burnley? Probably not. He'll stick with Gruev, you know, 100%. But I want to see Tanaka or Rothwell coming for Ilya Gruev, personally. That's just me moving forward. But yeah, that's it really, guys. That's just my, you know, main takeaways from the win against Hull City yesterday. I really do appreciate everybody that joins this video to watch it. Like I say, guys, I'm really going for it with the content now. It's weird. I've had like a new lease of life over the last few weeks. I think, you know, since I've started doing the White Wall podcast, which, you know, is a really good podcast, guys. If you haven't checked it out, go and check it out. We'll actually be live at 8 o'clock this evening for you. So go over and check that. It's a little bit more unfiltered, a little bit more relaxed, I would say. But yeah, go and check that out. But yeah, proper going for it with the content now, guys. I'm going to keep it as consistent as possible. You know, even when I'm on holiday in a few weeks' time, you know, I'm going to still try and get the odd bit out while I'm out there in Mexico. And yeah, you know, I would love to be able to do this full time, guys. That is the absolute goal. So if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. It will really help me out. Like this video as well, and get your comments in, and please hit the notification bell. That way you'll be aware of when I'm uploading and going live. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you in a bit. Cheers.